Jesus speaks so intimately with his apostles about what he believes is most important for them to know, most important for them to remember. It should not surprise anyone that Jesus chose to speak to them about love. It was a language whose first expression were the words peace, whose first expressions were the words forgiveness and unity. Unity brings strength, strength through unity. What gives us strength, and therefore what gives us hope at times like these. This story, this conversion, is full of hope for us. That conversion, the change is possible no matter how established we may be or think we are, no matter what your title or position, no matter what your age or experience, no matter what your life has been like, no matter what the state of your soul at this moment. And in this way, those who meet him are drawn by the very power of the gospel to lead a new life that is characterized by all that is beautiful and true.
Well, I'd like to take you back 12 years to the Basilica Upper Church. I remember sitting in the pew, and Father began to talk about his vision for Catholic youth, and he quoted the book Dying of the Light, which spoke about how certain institutions kind of have to surrender their religious roots to survive.
Many Catholic colleges and universities later in the century followed the earlier pattern of their counterparts as the sun began to set on their identity.
This is a very secular culture we live in, and for an institution in all of its parts, but particularly in its leadership, to say, we have something to bring, we have a gift to give, we have something nobody else brings to this whole debate.
At this point in our history, our university cannot and must not merely participate in the slow and often painful discussion of the relationship between Catholic identity and university status. Now is our time to lead the discussion.
He unabashedly said, it will not happen here, not now, not ever.
The dying of the light? Not here, not now, not again. God is my light.
Lots of schools are looking for an identity. We have an identity. It's very much front and center. And Father has put that stamp on it. And it's easy for us to go out and tell students and their parents exactly what we are, what we stand for, and what we do.
I really find that my understanding of what a Catholic university needs to be is something I learned here. I learned it from him. And that legacy is something that is perhaps the greatest gift that this university could receive. And I think we're very lucky.
Does our nation need just another research institution? Just another university? On the other hand, if the Catholic University of America exercises its mission-based leadership in a manner that is unambiguously Catholic, we shall grow.
I said to the faculty member sitting next to me, I said, I think we might have a winner here.
You know, we were excited, obviously, to have a new president coming. It seemed to me that the new president coming, being a religious, was going to be good for us. And it seemed to me that his experiences were the kind of experience you'd look for in a new president. I was excited about the fact that it was a young person coming.
He's so young. Really, he's so young for a young priest to come in and take over the university. I was very impressed by that.
And I remember thinking, better get some comfortable shoes, because this is probably going to be the last time we're standing idle in a room, in a closed room. It's probably going to be somebody that walks the campus, and in fact he mentioned that he would be a walking president.
He'd say, okay, I'm going to go out and walk. I'm out. And, you know, he wouldn't say where he was going.
He would, you know, leave the office, go and get some lunch, and he would walk up to the cribs. And a lot of students at one point, when he father first came here, you know, he would eat and talk with them. And they don't even realize that he's the president of the university.
I remember, you know, witnessing the first few times he walked the campus. He stopped every workman, he stopped the grounds crew, he'd stop students, but especially the staff. For a moment, he'd recognize the work they were doing.
He wanted everybody to be a part of it. You know, he was very friendly. He wanted people to talk to him, be open with each other.
One of his first priorities when he came was to decide where to live. And he decided that Nugent Hall would be the place where he would live. He wanted to be on campus, and the reason he wanted to be on campus was he wanted to have good contact with the students. He enjoys working with the students.
Get the students in there. He started the President's Society. Getting students in there, because students don't just drop by the President's office.
It made him accessible, you know. It kind of said, you know, there's the opportunity of saying, oh, that's the president, and walk away and feel like you're uncomfortable. But because he was present, you felt like you could say hello and say hi. And he oftentimes, maybe to make students feel less nervous, would be the first one to say hello to you. And I think that was great.
He would go out, he would take groups of students, 10, 12 at a time, and put them in a van or something, take them down and get pizza. He would go to their events, which they very much appreciated.
A student was obviously speaking to a family member on a cell phone, and as I was walking by, he stopped me and said, "Could you talk to my mother?" And I said, "Sure." He said, "She doesn't believe I just had dinner with the president." And I remember the moment, and I got on the phone and I said to his mother, "Yes, your son had dinner last night with the president." And she said, "I've never heard of anything like this." So it was funny, and she also said, "Now he's not in trouble, is he, because you're the vice president?" But I said, no, no, no.
I think what comes through most of all is his passion for the students and their success. And that connectedness with students at all levels is something I think is rare among college and university presidents, and I've seen a lot of them in my lifetime.
All universities that are Catholic are called to such service. This Catholic university must lead and model it. First in teaching.
Right away, what you could tell is that he was exceptionally bright, and he also came out right away and said, what we have to be is absolutely a first-rate university. If we're not a first-rate university, nothing else counts.
With his strong leadership, people began to work with each other. Everything didn't have to go to the top. But he really strongly encouraged the different divisions, the different offices, departments on campus to work together, to talk to each other, and to formulate like a vision together.
A true visionary is somebody who has a concept for the future, an idea for the future, but then also gathers all the best ideas from others and takes the best and implements it.
It isn't easy to assemble that kind of team of people that work well together and trust each other, and all for the greater good of the university that share his vision.
He understands implicitly that in order for him to be successful, he's got to help others to be successful too. So he's a great partner to work with.
When Father O'Connell came, he saw that having more graduate students and not having a large endowment was not really sustainable.
That vision that he had for us to grow the undergraduate school would help even the graduate school. And I think his ability to understand what was happening in the marketplace, in higher education in general, and his ability to then translate it to the needs of Catholic will pay dividends for future generations.
So the undergraduate population now is larger than the graduate population, but both are continuing to grow. So the university, I believe, if we look at the statistics, is probably at its highest enrollment peak that it ever had.
Could we talk about ethics and morality and then fail to support it in the activities that we as a community promote on as well as off campus?
I am in awe of him as a person and what he's done for the university and the way he's able to sell the university within the university community and outside the university community, which is really part of what I see him doing on those news shows.
To raise the institution's national profile. And he's done that to a large extent through his own personal commitment.
He said we cannot have a clone of John Paul II.
Yeah, I think that's very true, and I don't think the Cardinals will be looking for that. It's not just asking for forgiveness, it's the expression of contrition or repentance and an effort to amend your ways.
What can we glean from the record about Pope Benedict XVI on that kind of issue?
Well, I don't think you'll ever find a pope, certainly in modern days, who's ever going to speak a message that's in support of war.
His writings, and when he goes out and gives talks, he's known around the country as the president that's very strong on the Catholic identity and mission of a Catholic university.
Your Holiness, we greet you with great joy and welcome you to the Catholic University of America. Established by Pope Leo XIII and sponsored by the bishops of the United States, this national university of the Catholic Church in our country provides a most fitting platform for you to address the leaders of Catholic educational institutions here from every level of their service to the Church, Catholic universities and colleges, as well as Catholic primary and secondary schools. We are profoundly humbled and deeply grateful that you have asked to spend some time with us during your historic apostolic visit to our country.
Most importantly, we're bringing that message about the Catholic University of America and our Catholic mission to a group of people we've never really played to before. And these are individuals that are not too familiar with us.
Those people are attracted to the kind of strength that Father O'Connell brings to his job. His enthusiasm, his passion, his good nature, and his great sense of humor.
I wouldn't call it a conventional sense of humor.
Someone else can read it and I'll just move my mouth.
Word up, that's why I can't remember which one. But
I see these transcripts of my interviews with the paper, and you read them and say, did I say it that way? That's so stupid, you know.
He's a little irreverent.
Last year we renovated Keene Hall, which is one of those two white box buildings in front of the library. The library's that building where we kept the books, for those of you.
I can joke with him. He'll come into my office and he'll sit and, you know, we talk about the business of the day, but he might have a story to tell or sometimes a joke to tell. He's an easy person to work with. You know, he's fun to work with.
Our greatest strength is our Catholic identity, for it gives form and substance, shape and direction to all that we do as a university.
The anecdotes I hear from alums who haven't been back to campus in 15 or 20 years, are that they are stunned when they come back to campus for the first time after such a long time. Not only because there are all these new buildings that have gone up, but because the physical appearance of the campus, the way the grounds are maintained, all the greenery that we have on campus. It's truly a beautiful campus.
The changes that he made at the university, things that you just, wow. The Prisbilla Center, the Millenniums, they were not here when I was a student here. The development, the land.
Now we have Opus Hall, another thing. All these things that are designed to make students' life easier.
The university library, which is Mullen Library, and used to be called Sullen Library, jokingly by some, because it was so dark and gloomy and foreboding. It underwent a $6 million facelift.
You have the Dufour Center, where they put a lot of money into that to make things more attractive for students to come here, more attractive for students who are here and who will stay here.
The development of our South Campus, which is going to bring a major source of revenue to the university and is going to transform the way that part of the university looks.
he's elevated the entire university. He's helped all of us, faculty, staff, everyone else, in terms of having this place be on the map, be a better university, and be a go-to university.
He brought clarity of vision, which allowed us to focus on our identity. He brought energy that kept us engaged in our task. And he brought a caring concern that reminded all of us we're all part of a campus family.
When Father told me some months back that he was going to give his paper for stepping down, and I think it would be maybe a year from now, and he just caught me off guard, and it's, you know, it's he's a good person.
I hope he's proud of the work that he's done, because I think the people that are this CUA family is very proud of this institution.
He may be leaving, but I think his imprint on the institution is going to carry us forward for quite a long time to come now.
I miss him. Yeah.
He simply was there for everybody. And all of us just think of him as our friend.
Davy, I am so very proud of you, and I love you very much.
As the light of a new millennium dawns, and the Catholic University of America begins to write a new chapter in its history, may the light that shines brightest be that provided by God and reflected by all of us who are this great institution. Thank you.